Hey guys, what's up? I don't know if this is working. We're having problems with Cloudflare. Hey Dan, what's up? I just got a message. Maybe let me share my screen and then you can read it too. I don't really know what it means, but I'm sure you do. Being that you are a computer guy. X Twitter's experiencing intermittent issues that may be due to the widespread outage of Cloudflare. Of course, this might prevent some users from going live. So I guess what they're saying is I may not be on Twitter, but evidently I'm on YouTube because you guys are saying good morning. Good morning, Bon. Good morning, Grumpy. And good morning, Dan, like I said. All right, so let's get in the middle of this, but let's always remember, not financial advice. This is for fun and entertainment only. Maybe call it research purposes only. But of course, we check anything we hear on the internet with somebody that's licensed and somebody that knows your personal situation. Don't forget, you can always support the station at paypal.me/maxconvexity. Now let's get into the middle of this darn market. I saw an interview. I have CNBC on in the background. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I want to make sure not to miss anything. I woke up early this morning and have been looking at the market, watching CNBC. A woman named Katie Stockton, who I really like, was on. She's a technical analyst. Anyway, and I'm trying to find somebody that captured a video of that to show it to you guys. But yeah, she said all the same stuff I've been saying. She said if we lose 90 on Bitcoin, we're going to the mid 70s. And she's also revising a bunch of. They're also starting to hint at an AI, well, we're going to have to cut our estimates back on AI. And, and we should know a lot more after tonight with NVIDIA. But like I always say, it's darkest before the storm. And so maybe we're closer to a bottom than a top. But I mean, then I'm also hearing people say the R word all over the place. So, and I don't even want to say that word, but anyway, the market's not the economy and the economy's not the market. And so, all right. So I guess we should start with Bitcoin. This made it right perfect. Right where we expect there to be buyers, there has been so far. So the next thing we're looking at is the reaction. Can we get a daily close that's over the last daily close's high? In other words, can we take out a previous high? That'd be a first step for bulls. And that would be, can we even get over the daily high like we did back here? Even if we do, it's probably a sell the rip opportunity. But I mean, what's the reaction off this area where we expect buyers to be there? Is there no reaction and it goes straight through it? I mean, that tells us something also. But so far they left a rejection tail there. So they probably traded down there overnight, but no one was here. So I'd be, worried about it coming up, hitting the shorter term moving or the longer term moving average, which is the 200 period moving average. It's only 30 minutes. So it's whatever 30 divided by 26 is how many days this moving average would be. So it's like a 1 day moving average. Or no, 200 to be 200 divided by, there's 36 half-hour periods in a day in Bitcoin. There's 48 half-hour periods in a day. And so 20 divided by 48 is a 4 day. So this is like a 4 day moving average. But in any event, it's been capping our rallies lately. So, we'll see. We'll see. Let's look at SPY. So yeah, SPY took out this low. I guess we have. Let me get a bigger perspective on that on SPY. I can't. That's what's scary about this is SPY is still so high. It hasn't reacted. Now that may be good. Maybe it's holding up because it has a lot of stuff that's doesn't really have much to do with AI or Bitcoin to other stuff. But in any event, so it looks like 650 to 655 is kind of the next test. And then below that, we have the 200 day at 612, and there's probably other reference points down there. There looks like there's a gap there at 637. All right. Well, not much we can do about that. Let's look at the cues. I'm going to have to go to the store. I'm about out of my sugar and caffeine. Yep, that's the last bit. Jackson, we're going to have to go to the store. Jackson likes to walk up to the store. This is Austin, so I can take him in the store. I mean, there's dogs everywhere in this town. This town, dogs have more rights than people. There's in South Austin, which is kind of the rich hippie part of town, rich younger people part of town. There's a dog wash on every corner, or a dog treat store, or organic dog bakery. I mean, South Austin's dog heaven. I live up in North Austin, which is more conservative, but in any event, all right. Let's see here. So the cues, I mean, we're right on the area where we thought, you know, there might be buyers. It looks like it dipped into there for a second, 592. If it loses that, it'd probably test the old breakout at 582. And then there's a gap at 575 to 585 is the next key area. Should we lose 592? Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we won't. Okay, so let's go to the index buffer report and some stuff like that. See where we're at as far as the index buffer report goes. It's just a good way to get a kind of a broad look at the market. Okay, feed and 5E, is the feed and 5E doctrine alive? It looks like it is. Feed is down slightly less than Y-SPY, but all right. Well, feed is down a lot. 5E holding up a little bit better. FIRS and FIRI is up. Those fire funds, yeah, I don't really follow them that much, but they seem to do a good job on this report, or they've seemed to have been doing a great job lately on this report. So, so then we have ZVOL. ZVOL's a mess. Now this thing's short volatility, and volatility's above. VIX is above 20. So speaking of VIX being above 20, sorry about that, but let's look at the VIX versus VIVIX. I'm sure, I would guess it hasn't improved yet. It's probably still in the warning territory, but I want to see if it's unimproving or degrading or whatever the word is. Yeah, and it is lower low, lower high. We'd expect that because VIX is going up and VIVIX is going up too. They're both going up. The lines have been sloping down, which is indicated by the red since, late September. And we even, in mid-October, we did what we're doing now. We had a close or two underneath the line, and that was a sell-off in mid-October. But however, the dip was bought then. Now we're lower than we were then, meaning people are hedging more aggressively than they were then even. So, all right. So anyway, back to this. So yeah, I would expect ZVOL to be down. Long volatility ones are probably up, but long volatility products bleed. So that's why this fund, from Matthew Tuttle, he supposedly came out with a fund that can be long volatility and not bleed. Now, but I think the other side to that is it'll go nowhere in a bear market. So you could invest in something and the market's up 20 or 30% and it goes nowhere. But that makes it a valuable hedging tool because right now the present hedging tools you invest in a bear market and they bleed. Other than chaos. Chaos is another one, a hedging tool that doesn't seem to bleed. All right. Why triple Q's up? Why is Salty not up? Come on, Salty. What are you doing? Anyway, there's no way Blocks is up, but I would love it if it was. Anyway, we'll check in that a little bit. ULTI is down. Now that I would expect that. I worked late into the night on some content on ULTI, and I'm having a technical problem. I'll explain to you guys later. I don't think the data that they're outputting is accurate, so I'm not going to be able to get it out. I've hit the guy up on Twitter or X or whatever, and I hit the fund manager up. I'll let you know what happens. Other than that, I mean, it looks pretty like a typical down day. Is anything outperforming the parent on the downside? Yes, YMAG is. YMAG's parent isn't really the Qs, but I mean, it's a benchmark. Alti's parent really isn't the Russell, but it's a benchmark you can use. And it's, Alti's definitely underperforming the reference asset. SMCI at this early point in the day is up more than the parent. So is InFlight. I really like that. I used to love to trade Netflix options in like a long time ago before it got to $1,000 a share. It's too expensive, but I love the 10-for-1 reverse split. They tend to have really liquid options, and I'm going to let the reverse split settle in. But that might be a good trading vehicle. In the same way, I really like NVIDIA for a trading vehicle, just liquid options, Anyway, so I'm excited about that split. It's a forward split, not a reverse split. I'm sorry. Look at YBIT up more than IBIT. That's impressive. And what's going on with MicroStrategies? So that's what's going on with Salty. I bet Salty has a short in MicroStrategies, and I bet you they're getting smoked on that. And that just reminds me, I forgot to update my that spreadsheet, but I do have a better one updated. So let's look. I was having Claude work on it. I haven't checked this out, so I haven't proofread it yet. We'll kind of proofread it together. Okay. The diversified darlings. So total returns, price return, dividend focus. Okay. Key performance in best performer, QLDY, worst performer, ULTI, highest dividend yield, LFGY, average return is 15%. So I lined all these up on a starting line the last day of October, the day that ULTI and K yield came out. Initially, I was just going to compare ULTI, K yield, and blocks and ULTY. But then I decided there's a lot of other ETFs that fill that similar lane. So I decided to throw them in too. And really QLDY, the lightning spread one, isn't really a fair comparison, but I just like to keep track of it. And, it is another NASDAQ based high yield fund. So, I mean, in that sense, it does, but it's not as concentrated as these over here. So it may not be a fair comparison. Anyway, but here, and this is updated as of this morning. Before I came on, I grabbed the numbers and fed them into Claude and had them work it out. ULTI is down 31, blocks is down 23, LFGY down 17, ULTY down 14, K yield down, call it 13. WPay, we'll round that to 13 also. K yield and WPay, great job, guys. Great job. GPTY down, call it 11. Chippy down, we'll call it 9. QLDY down 6.5. And the NASDAQ down 5.3. All right, so now let's look at the dividend yield. Some of these have only paid once and some have paid twice. This may not be the best thing to look at, but as we get more dividends in, I expect this to normalize and be more statistically significant. It doesn't really surprise me, LFGY and ULT. I'm really surprised LFGY pays more but they're both pretty high paying. WPay is pretty high paying also. But I think they're paying less lately. They paid less yesterday. And I saw that the Round Hill fanboys like that. Some of them do. Some of them are mad, but mostly they like that because they realize that the distribution's a tax on upside. The market looks bad right now. So if you could pay a little less, that's fine. What I really think it has to do with, though, is the mechanism that WPay pays you with, the total return swap. Because they don't sell options, that option creates a little buffer on the downside, but a cap on the upside. You guys know that. So I think they're also paying less because they have less to pay it with. That may not be a bad thing. That may not be a bad thing. Anyway, I know this. I'm just into the results. It's making their price hold up better compared to some of the higher paying ones. So that's a victory for WPay. If we could ever get the market to turn around, WPay's a good one. And so are all of these, in my opinion, if we get the market to go the right direction. Chippy, I don't know about ULTI. No, I'm just joking. it just got introduced at the wrong time. But in a bull market, these, LFGY, ULTY, they can all do WPay. They can all do really well. Blocks, K yield. Okay. So that's it for that. Let's do this. What did I call that spreadsheet where I look at blocks? I call it it's the three, or the fantastic, or the, gosh darn it, I forgot what I called that. I haven't opened that in a while, but I think it'd be interesting to look at that and see the positions. Was it called the fantastic or the terrible trio? And I think I named it that back in October, the middle of October, when it was selling off, I think is when I built this spreadsheet. And so I was trying to be ironic, but it's turned out it's not as ironic as I wanted it to be. Unfortunately, I forgot to update it. Give me just a second and we will update it. This one is easy peasy to update. But then I also want to talk about ULTI. I'm really trying to get in the middle of what ULTI is doing. I don't think any of you really have it really that much. I don't really think anyone's that interested in it, but still, I stayed up super late and I did a bunch of stuff, but I'll show you what I'm running into after we talk about this. All right, let's run this function. How are you guys doing today? I'll step over here and say hi while the function's running. 22 comments on AMZ's getting spanked today. Yeah, I'll look at comments here in a second. Let me just make sure everything's fine. I work for Misty. Let's see. Yeah, bumpy ride. I know you should have got up. Katie Stockton, she's usually very bullish and stuff. And yeah, that's what got me even more nervous. I've been nervous for a while. Okay. All right. So there's nothing to attend to immediately. It doesn't appear. You guys just saying hi. Thank you very much. I have 43 people here, and I usually have 20 of you guys from YouTube, or 30 maybe. So, but when I'm up in the 50s and 60s, to me, it means people are watching from X. So maybe X is working. So let's check out the terrific trio, terrible trio, whatever you want to call it. Depends on which way the market's moving. Okay, so these are the latest positions and weightings. Let's just go to the chart. All right, is blocks really up? Okay, let's do this. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I mean, people are still saying good stuff about Ethereum. I heard some bullish stuff from people I respect. That wasn't Tom Lee yesterday. Blocks is up from the close last night, certainly. Look at that. That's, heck yeah, blocks. Okay, well, I'm sorry to doubt you, blocks. Well, let's see why it's up. Let's see. We can't really look at the options, but we can look at the positions. Wonder if they put on a volatility hedge or something, and they played the VIX going up. Jay does that occasionally in LFGY. He did that in ULTY, Jay and Scott. So, but I don't know if I've seen blocks do that. But yeah, so blocks is up 1.5, and it's up more than its constituents. And we would totally expect that because of the strategy they use. Though they have micro strategies up 6%, but it's less than 1% of their portfolio. They have Bitmine immersion. So, I mean, it's an Ethereum rally, I guess, because there's Ethereum. But HODL's not up 6%. That number's always wrong. There's no way HODL's up 6%. But I do believe that maybe people are going from are selling Bitcoin and buying Ethereum or something, buying the dip in Ethereum. Oh, I spelled HODL wrong. All right, VanEck Bitcoin ETF. I guess it is. It's up from the close. That's good news. It is up from the close. Now it's only up 1.16. The chart never gets a ride. It's pulling a quote from another company. But so in any event, so it's not so this average isn't really even doing that well. This average is probably only up 0.5 point. And so blocks is tripling its constituents average. Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. Ethereum's up. Iron's up a little bit. Okay, well, maybe there's some dip buyers coming in this industry. It's darkest before the dawn. Maybe the dawn's here. All right, so let's look from blocks. Let's go over here to LFGY. Now this one's showing down. It has a lot of the same stuff that the other one does, but it doesn't have the Ethereum exposure. I mean, it does other than Bitmine immersion. Well, it does. Actually, it has ETHA. Huh. Well, actually, a lot of their stuff's up. Now I'm not believing this. Let's look at LFGY. This one is down from the close. So, but it's not washing out or anything. Okay, well, small miracles, right? Small miracles. Look at this SBET. You know who has a lot of SBET is ULTI. I was doing their trades last night. All right, well, now let's look at ULTY. We should have probably checked the other one first because you know I'm going to anyway, but this looks reasonable. Down a point. That sounds right. Their constituents are down a little bit more. That sounds right. What did they have? The Symbiotics killing them. Affirm. They don't have any Ethereum, right? So they switched to big cap tech, and right at the time we go into a freaking AI pullback. So the big cap tech isn't really helping. I mean, we'll see what happens after NVIDIA earnings, but so far it isn't. Palantir's down, NVIDIA's down. CRM is Salesforce, which they also used to have, which is down. Hood, CoreWeave, you know, these are the ones that are in that ETF GPTY, and they're all down today. Facebook. So only things these guys have that are up is Oklo, Circle, SMR's up a little bit, MP's up a little bit. Anyway, okay, well, that's not as bad as I thought. I don't think the Salty works. I meant to fix this. Actually, I do think I fixed it. I fixed it the other day and I forgot about it. I fixed it when I bought Salty. Okay, well, so Salty's up 0.74, but the average constituent's down 0.197. I need to program it where it shows the benchmark as a negative of the average constituent. So it would show the average. So it showed that Salty's behind 74 bips to 2% or whatever, because they should be up 1.97 if they just shorted all these stocks in equal portions. That's a good project to work on. But for right now, I can just adjusted my mind. Anyway, great job, Salty. So I was wrong. They did not have MicroStrategy short. Good job. Never bet against Michael Saylor. That's the only reason I haven't bought Winter yet, although Winter's been working out great for a lot of people the past couple of months. But I just didn't see it coming. I didn't see the MicroStrategies selling off as deeply as it has. Well, this is interesting. I like this. It's up a little bit. That's, you know, all right, we'll take it. SanDisk is the one that's helping us the most. It's 4% of the portfolio, and it's down 11%. 11 times 4 is 44 basis points. So that means we're earning 44 of our 74 basis points we're up. This one trade is worth about 2/3 of our alpha today. Okay, and the other ones don't work. I mean, we'll just look and see what they gave us. I think I loaded that in there. That I did that, so that's not them. Here's what they have. I keep hoping it'll work someday. They get some of them, but they just don't get all of them. Anyway, we're going to talk about ULTI separately. In fact, let's do that now. So here's the only reason I haven't got better content on that for you guys. I made a new spreadsheet. I called it GPTY just because I was out of names to call other stuff. And I put GPTY's trades in here somewhere because I was trying to make some content on GPTY. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to follow GPTY on a daily basis. So I'm using Alt-I. So I'm using the spreadsheet to load the Alt-I trades. This was their trades as of Friday. And I think I talked to you guys about that. So then I loaded the trades as of this Monday morning. Usually it should be totally updated. And so look at this. So they have negative 6,300 shares of AST Space Mobile. They have negative 3,300 shares of Bloom Energy. I wouldn't necessarily be against it if they turned into kind of a long short income fund. I've always told Jay he should do a long short fund. mix Alti and Salty together, mix Crash and Tesla together, and manage them professionally, rebalance them like a hedge fund would, not like a retail trader would, and give a truly unique product. So I would love it if these guys were doing that, but I don't think they really are, though. Because, for instance, like on Bullish, they're showing short 8,300 shares, but then they have their overlay, and their overlay is still their standard Bullish overlay. But I went ahead and put it, this is what I was doing so late last night. I bet I didn't fall asleep till 2 or 3, or I think I fell asleep before that, but it was late. So I put it in option strat and kind of did a what if, and I love that trade. I kind of hope they are doing that. But I'll tell you, I don't think they are in a second. But let's look at that trade. You could do that. You could do a short on top of there it is. It'd be up right now. Now, this is just one contract, but it looks like a risk reversal. I mean, it is basically, it's a reverse lightning spread. There's the lightning part because they sold a call spread. So they're double short between those two legs. They're short through the shares, you're short shares. But then the thing that doesn't make sense, if it was a short, they also doubled up on the puts. They usually do that to turn it into a caller and double up when they have longs, and then they do the double short. They wouldn't need to do that. They would just do it. I would think they would just do it like this. They would just do it like this. And that would still be a bearish play, but I just don't think they would double up on the out of the money puts if they were really short. So I tweeted at them, and I haven't got a response yet. But like I say, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to this because it's an income trade. It has a buffer. I've shown you guys my 3-leg risk reversals. You can do it either way, put or call. I mean, you can do it in either manner. It wouldn't be the worst trade, but I don't think they're doing that. And let me show you why. Well, one thing, because I talked to somebody else that follows them, and he said they have errors in their report, and they usually correct it by the next morning. So I went in the next morning, which was this morning, and I downloaded the holdings again, but I asked for it in the form of a PDF. Well, a PDF doesn't show any shorts. So which one's right, the PDF or the other one? Like I said, I wish they were mixing in some shorts. I think there's a fund from Neos coming out that's going to be a long short income fund, so that, delta neutral. That would be really cool, and that would be novel, and that might get something that gets me interested in actually pulling the trigger and buying ULTI. But first, the market's going to have to stabilize before I even think about it. But anyway, so I kind of hope they're short. I'll let you know. They haven't got back to me on Twitter yet. Let's go look and see again. But maybe Twitter's down because of Cloudflare and their part of town. Anyway, that's about all I have to talk about. There's probably other stuff we can talk about, but yeah, I don't see anything in my chat or notifications, but I just don't think Twitter's working that well. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? I've monopolized the conversation long enough. Yeah, MicroStrategies is up today. Bumpy ride, correct. Hey, Summit, thank you for being here. Bond is here. Bond was here last night. I appreciate that. And other people were Grumpy and Froggy, and we had a good crowd last night. I thought we had a good show. We can review that for the people that aren't here. Why does it say Spy Sunday? That's a different show. Anyway, well, hopefully you guys saw it. I thought I left it up, but that is not it. That's not it. All right. Back to the comments. Anyway, we looked at the most stable funds, and the common theme was that most stable, diversified, high yield funds, and they were the ones that paid the smaller yield, the 6, 8, 12% yields. By and large, there was a few that snuck in their retire yields, but just from a mathematical standpoint, I think it was a Global X fund that was that won or something. I made an editor's choice and chose a couple with higher yields, but all right. So World Travel and Ventures, you bought SEPI, BCCC, AIPI, SCHD, MSTW, and CB2. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Anyone heard when that Rex fund of funds is coming out? That's going to be a good one. All these, I'm jealous every time I see these results on TS2 or MS2 or C, whatever two. They're really good. Taking some chances with CB2, yeah, and MicroStrategy help it pays off. On the dip, it does look like Bitcoin, if it finds a bottom, it could find one at 90. where we've trying to make one. So, beyond that, it could find one that, there's, say there's a 40% chance it finds one at here, and maybe a 60% chance it goes to 75. Well, anyway, you have a 40% chance that you just bought a major dip, and you're going to be handsomely rewarded, especially with MSTW, because it has leverage. The only way you could even be more handsomely rewarded is if you got MST that has double leveraged. So, Bond, what's going on? AMC getting spanked today. I'm somewhat tempted. Let's see what Marcus is doing. I would have K yield. Oh, I would have it if K yield didn't exist. Don't want to over. Yes, exactly. My problem is I already have blocks and already have ULTY in my two largest holdings, and so I just can't afford to also put. And not to mention I have BITK. But so I can't, I'm overloaded. I can't afford to get ULTI or whichever one you were talking about. I'm thinking maybe ULTI, but I'm interested. I'm still rooting for them, and I'm still going to follow them. So like I say, if there's a 40% chance that the 90s, the Bitcoin low, ULTI probably be a decent play from here, not financial advice. BITK just went green too. Great. Maybe 90s the key. It is dark right now, but dawn may be right around the corner. I should be buying blocks, but I'm trying to balance out my BCCC positions with blocks positions. Yeah, I'm overloaded on blocks. I bought the dip, what I thought was the dip, 2 weeks ago. So anyway, at least I sold some winners too. So I should be all right. YETH green. Yeah, Ethereum seems to be holding up better, Bond. Love Red Days. World Travel Adventures. Okay, good. That's awesome. YTH announced 23 per share. Great. That is awesome. Loaded up on ETU yesterday while it was crazy down. Yeah, Ethereum seems to be kind of the fund of the moment or whatever. That's where a lot of the Bitcoin energy seems to be going. Good job. Gosh, I didn't realize blocks was that low. I don't look at the prices and stuff. I just try to ignore it. And oh my gosh. Anyway, but that's good though. That's good for the price. Like I say, I would get some, but I just don't think I can afford to. But I don't know. If the market recovers from here, I'll be fine. So I don't need to add any more from here. I'm glad that MSTW is doing well. Hey, Tom, how are you doing? You're welcome. That Neos fund does sound interesting. I say Jay does not take my advice, but he does listen to the overall community. But I've told him forever. I would love a Salty and Alti pair crash into. I mean, it'd be easy for them to do because what they would do is with their computers they can measure the weighted deltas in the portfolios, and they could and they could keep it balanced in a professional way. Anyway, but Jay always says that's for you guys to do yourself. So, okay. So what are you saying here? Income. Okay. Just getting here. Well, thanks for being here, Income Bull. Neos boosted funds slated for release on December 3rd, according to ChatGTP. So Neos is coming with XQQI. I love that already because it has the words QQ in it. And I love the next one already because it has the word SPY in it. I'm a sucker for diversified or portfolio level income funds, but those will definitely have to go in the diversified darlings or whatever. I need to come up with a better name. I've been working on my branding, and my branding's not doing great, but I think the Max Factor is good branding and stuff, but I probably a lot of people weren't even around in the 70s, a lot of you young guys, but I know Max Factor may be a thing still, but it used to be makeup that a lady would wear. So I know it from my mom, and I hear my aunt. There used to be commercials on TV. Is Max Factor even? I don't know if Max Factor is even a thing anymore. Now, also, I've been divorced for 20 years, so I'm not up on cosmetic type stuff, but I do still watch TV. And I checked before I made my thing, the Max Factor. I checked the copyrights, and they let their copyright expire. So I don't think that the cosmetic company is using Max Factor anymore. Okay, so Income Bull, long-term leverage usage designed specifically for compounding. No daily or weekly or monthly reset to synthetically replicate leverage performance. Just borrowed capital to increase exposure long-term. Interesting. So that is these right here, XQQI, XSPY, or XSPI, and XBCI. Okay, so long-term leverage using designed for compound. No, so no reset. The reset causes volatility decay or erosion or something. Or well, yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it causes. No daily, monthly, to synthetically. So they're just gonna borrow money. Okay. Um, yeah, good job, Grumpy. Good job. I think it has boost. It has leverage. Okay, yeah, yeah. Um, so you're staying in cash for a few shares of the boosted. Yeah. Um, let's see. Income Bull. Yeah, you have some good information, Income Bull. I haven't. I need to check out those prospectuses. If anyone in my Discord sees those prospectuses, and they will, they probably have already put them in there. Put them in there. Its prospectus explicitly states long-term conservative approach to borrowing, exactly what a retail investor would do, borrowing low-cost debt to increase holdings for long-term. So none of this reset stuff. Okay, yeah. I do think though, and I don't know, I do think though, for whatever reason, the way Roundhill's doing it with this tiny amount of leverage seems to be working out pretty well. And they have a weekly reset, but maybe that's the thing. The less often you have to reset, maybe the ones that don't work out as well are daily resets because they're selling ODTEs on leverage products on a daily basis or whatever. So yeah, but heck yeah, better for your blood pressure. Awesome. Okay, Bond bought GPTY earlier, surprised by how much the distribution is. GPTY is a stealth fund. I mean, but it's only having 80 million under management or something. It'd be the perfect fund if if it could do those results on the entire market. But unfortunately, a lot of the reason it has some of those good results is because it's been in a hot theme. AI has been a hot theme. But so I'm a little bit worried about AI. But yeah, if this is the bottom for AI, GPTY should do great. I guess I'm going off the thesis. Maybe this is a 30% chance that it's a bottom and that 90 was the bottom in Bitcoin. I'd have to be open to the possibility that may not be. But yeah, if Bitcoin bottoms, probably AI will too, or it'd be good for other stuff. So, boy, we'll know a lot more after tonight. I'm thinking of an earnings trade. I mean, I was thinking of getting puts or something, or somehow selling something to hedge NVIDIA or something. But as soon as I do that, it'll go straight up, and it's already down so much. But maybe the people that are in the know have already sold it off, and so there's not a lot of alpha left in it. If somebody had a huge position in NVDY and was unwilling to sell it, I think maybe something like a reverse caller or something on NVIDIA, just in case it misses earnings, might make sense because it would offset the damage in their NVDY position. But since I don't have that, I probably just need to stay off it. Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, I say after the bell. I'm sorry. So it's probably after the bell tomorrow. I'm a day ahead. It's only Tuesday, right? I'm a day behind. I really have been working a lot lately. And I've been trying to keep up with this channel and stuff. Okay, so there's other things we can look at. Let's look at this. I'm really curious because the market's doing better than I thought, but let's look at the whole market. Let's go to stocktools.app and get a broader view. My focus is pretty, centered on diversified high yield funds, but let's just get into stocktools.app, maybe check out the dashboard, and then we'll go and check out all the ETFs and see what else is holding up well that is not within my myopic view. All right, so consumer staples. Well, I like the visual. I like this one better. Okay. But what worries me also is the Dow was down 500 points this morning. Now, the Dow's been holding up better recently. But yeah, Ethereum's up 4%. Heck yes. Heck yes. I mean, the NASDAQ's down 1.5. Dow's down 1.1. All right. Well, consumer staples, healthcare, only green, but real estate and utilities are holding up good on a relative basis. But then we have the usual ones: communication, industrial, consumer discretionary, and technology, of course. All right. So let's go over here to the real buffer report. The better buffer report. This is a better buffer. It's a more comprehensive buffer. I'm still saying this report wouldn't exist had I not made the first buffer report. But because Rob's a big fan of the station, but he obviously saw that there's a lot of opportunity for improvement, and he has definitely improved it. Just takes sometimes a second to load. So let's go daily. I know we've already looked at daily on my buffer report, but like I say, it's kind of a myopic view. So let's just go daily deep dive and see what else I missed. Okay, YQQQ and LFGY are up. That's amazing. Okay, this is just Yield Max. I thought I clicked off of it. All right, sorry, it's taking a second, but I just want to see everything, and I think this is it. I can see it loading behind the screen because I see Defiance. Yeah, MSTW, gosh darn it, that's awesome. Good call on whoever bought the dip on MSTW. Good call. Wow. All right, so MST, of course, it's true to form. It has leverage and daily leverage, but the reset causes a lot of volatility erosion in this thing. But anyway, it works well on the way up. MSTW, that's awesome. I missed from Bitwise MS2. Well, I definitely see a theme. I almost wonder if I just selected Misty or Mr. components, but I didn't. It's just killing it today. All right. Well, so you can buy Mr. because Mr. is what its net asset value equals less than what it would equal if what I had in Bitcoin, whatever that ratio is, it's under 1. So we have some value. We have some value players in there. Well, I'm glad I didn't buy Winter. Like I say, never big against Michael Saylor. But the other side is I'm still looking for this to rally, maybe even for a couple of days like it did last week. And I'm still going to be on the lookout for sellers to come in at a higher level. It still looks like that, Bitcoin and stuff is getting sold, but we'll see. We'll take it one day at a time. First, we'll put in a higher low, and then eventually we'll get a higher high, and then we'll look at it one day at a time. All right. So even old Misty's doing well, up 6.9%. MTYY, I've never heard of that one. Where did that one come from? I think it's a new one. Obviously, it's I guess it's I just really haven't heard that symbol. I guess it's Granite shares. Anyway, good job. All right, YETH is killing it. You guys bought that one too, some of you guys. Boy, if 90's the bottom, you guys that loaded up today are really going to be rewarded handsomely. Look at old BITX up 3%. Now, it was down 5% yesterday, so it needs to go up 5% today just to negate yesterday's. And then it was getting damaged for a week before that. But, I mean, it is a step in the right direction. Morrow, when Morrow's up, when Morrow's up, that's the market's good. NFLW, we saw that. Netflix. Blocks is up 2.4. Heck yes, Blocks. NVIDIA, Netflix, Tesla, surrogates. So, heck yeah. All right. Well, that looks pretty good. Let's go back a week, though, and let's see which ones are holding up best over a little bit longer time frame. Okay, for the week, it's Winter and Fiat, but GOW. I had somebody on the live stream last night that hadn't been on before, and he was really excited about was it GOW? Or was it something related to Hood, HOO something? But anyway, it has been darn impressive, whichever one it was. I think it may have been GOOW. tonight we're going to have Tesla Tuesday, but I'll also do Google surrogates and maybe NVIDIA surrogates on the Max Factor. But I promised him that I would evaluate it. I really don't think GOW is on the Max Factor right now, and I think I maybe when it's 3 months old, but I think I may have missed it. But anyway, I'm going to make sure that everything's on there that should be, and we'll look at those tonight. But heck yes, that's awesome. Look at old Goop doing well over the past week. GUI, AAPW. All right, well, that's a good looking list. That is a good looking list. All right, I have some other stuff. So I've been working on. I have and I don't think really that many people are that interested in it, but I've got some interest in it. I'm making a ULTY future value calculator where it can show what happens with the NAV depending on what happens with the Qs. Now, why that's important, even if you don't like ULTY, if I can make this future value calculator work, I can apply it to any fund. And I'm having a friend help me on the math, and so it's I haven't forgot about it. It's in progress. Anyway, be looking for that sometime. Like I say, I know that there's not a lot of ULTY fans, but there are. Like I say, I bet there's a bunch of Blocks fans, and I'll do the same math on Blocks. Now, Blocks hasn't been around long enough probably to do. But anyway, the point is, it's gonna be a cool feature. What I'm trying to show is not, that somebody should buy ULTY or not buy ULTY. What I'm trying to show with the future value calculator is is where you could do what ifs. Like, what if I got this ETF, but I dripped 20% and then spent 80%, or I wonder what happened if I dripped 50-50, and then you could project the future value. And the calculators that are out there on the internet right now, Drip Calc, they show that if you buy one of those ETFs, you'll turn 10,000 into 10 million in 20 years or something. That's not happening, but because it can't adjust to the all the mechanics of what goes on with these high yield funds. So. But I'm getting some help from somebody that's good at math. So anyway, Dan's in the car. Okay, Dan, you probably go to a client's appointment, I'm guessing. Who knows? Hopefully it is. All right, Bond sold some NVIDIA this morning for a small profit, so NVD should jump to, yeah, probably. No problem with locking in, no problem. It's good to lock in gains. I mean, I'm feeling like an idiot for selling all of my GPTY, but I locked in a lot of gains. I got a lot higher price than it's at now. I can, if it does, I can always buy it back for a cheaper price. If NVIDIA does miss tomorrow, you buy your stuff back if you want, for a better price. So, it worked for Misty. It works for me every time. I mean, I'm a great inverse indicator, unfortunately. So Summit's here. Okay, so I've seen these already. Blocks is technically up a bit, but I believe it's going up more, Marcus. Last time I looked, it was up. On Rob's report on stocktools.app. By the way, the affiliate code is stocktools.app/max. If you're interested, I'd appreciate it if you put in my affiliate code. You also get a free month, I think, and then I get $20 if you stay another month or two after that. So, and I appreciate it. It's up a bunch. Look, it's up 2.5 now. Heck yeah. If this keeps going on, I think even ULTY might go up. It's getting close. Heck yeah. If ULTI's up, come on, because that's out of all the ones we follow, that one's been the hottest, and it's not up, but it's not down as much as it could be. All right. Saudi Prince Mohammed bin MBS is here, arrives at the White House. I guess we're selling them F-35s or something. Remember, the Bushes were huge friends with the Saudi royal family. I think they were like close personal friends, but I think it has a lot to do with, I think people in that business do a lot of business in Houston, and the Bushes lived in Houston, and the senior Bush was in the oil business. But yeah, they were really, really good friends from what I understand. But it looks like Trump's pretty friendly with them as well. Old Biden gave him a fist bump, remember? All right. So taking some, yeah, okay. So anyway, we've done all that. Let me just see what else is going on. Who bought blocks yesterday? Grumpy did? Yeah. Good job. Good job. Okay. So let me catch up with everything. Once the NEOS long short ETF comes out, I'm done. LOL. Done what? You doing your own long short? Or you're just, I mean, NEOS is good, but you've been doing your own long short. You think they're pulling their hair out at Rex? Yes, I do. And I don't understand. And that's why I thought maybe they're pulling their hair out so much they've gone to a long short. I really think the trades they did look good. I mean, I kind of wish they would have done that. But yes, I thought maybe they're just panicking and they're trying to figure out something to stabilize this. Because maybe the guys at Rex realize, oh, shoot, we brought this out at the wrong time. This thing's going, Bitcoin winners here or whatever. And so they just start doing long short. I think in their prospectus, it doesn't really mention long short. But I think a fund like that could do basically anything. I do think so. And that's why I kind of was going with the thesis that they switched to a long short fund or some long short strategies. But then ETF Delta, who's, has a Substack, and he's really, really good at this type of stuff. He kind of talked me down. He said, I think it's just an error. So I didn't go with it yet, but I want to tell you guys what I knew just in case, but I'm going to wait until I make any content to find out what it is. Yeah. It looks like crypto's bouncing, and we would expect a bounce, like I say. So we just have to watch out for the rip and then sell the rip. I mean, that's what and that'll happen. It's going to bounce at some point. Sellers will come in, and we got to get a higher low. We've got to make a higher low. We do not want 90 to go, in my opinion. All right, World Travel Ventures. As long as MSTW stays below 20, I'm all in. Double your heck yeah. MSTW is impressive, man. Like I say, I feel bad that I don't have any MSTW, and I feel bad I don't have HOW, and I feel bad I don't have GOW, but I have it in WPay. So anyway, all right, Lazy Tom, we'll see you tonight also. Well, I'm about out of stuff to talk about. I don't really have much else to talk about. If you guys want to go get back to trading, you guys can sure do it. I'll sit around and take questions or whatever. But I'm probably going to go get back in the middle of some of this stuff. I'm really interested in this future value calculator. I think that'd be a real service. And like I said, I'm sorry it's on ULTY, and that's not everyone's favorite fund, but that one's a good use case or a good study tool or whatever. And I do think that if this is the bottom for crypto and the market rallies from here and it was just a pullback, everyone buys it. Well, then I think people will start to like ULTY again. Not a lot of people, but I'm saying then because everything will start going up. So anyway, hopefully the calculator will come in handy for somebody. And if not, I'll make it be able to calculate other things as well so we can all use it. All right. Yeah, that ULTY split is brutal. Correct. Glad you never bought into that. I am too, World Travel Ventures. I am too. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. Don't forget, not financial advice. Also, don't forget you could support the station at paypal.me/maxconvexity. It also helps if you like or leave a comment. Any number of things help. I appreciate it. Just showing up here every morning and giving me something to talk about by commenting here live also helps me a lot. So you guys can do any one of the three, all three, none of them. It's up to you. Like I say, consult a professional advisor. Anything you hear on the internet should be consulted with somebody that knows you and knows your situation, your family, your goals, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. I can't know all that stuff. All right, Bon, I will talk to you later. And I'm sorry, Mike, you're late. Watch it on replay. The market's bouncing. The good news in a nutshell, the stocks with the ETFs we follow are looking better this morning. So the next thing we're worried about is just that it's going to bounce and then sell off, but we're going to take it one day at a time. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful morning.